Hey gamers, so I want to talk about that Mario Kart World Direct that happened recently because it was not necessary at all. Now, this is not a new opinion. I've seen other people say the same thing, so much so that I was considering, do I even make this video? But I wanted to make this video after the Direct aired before I saw anyone else's opinion because I do strongly believe that yeah, it sucks that this Direct did not really have any new information about this game, especially information that shows that it's worth $80 because people like Bill Trennan, Doug Bowser, they were like, oh, wait until the Mario Kart World Direct. We got some things to justify the $80 price point, and they didn't. So I kind of want to complain about it. So yeah, let's just get right into it, shall we? So yeah, the Direct itself, it wasn't bad by any means. I see some people say that it was bad. It made them not want the game. The Direct itself was actually pretty good, I feel. But the problem was it didn't really show off anything new besides some small things. Most of it was recap of what we saw from either the initial trailer or from the treehouse. Now we did see again some new stuff. We kind of got details on how the costumes work in the game, how you unlock outfits. We kind of knew this already, but we got verbal confirmation, which is good. We also got an announcement of the charge jump thing, which seems pretty cool. You kind of always wanted like a jump button in Mario Kart. We kind of had one. We could hop a little bit, but this is like more, an actual jump, which is really cool, especially because it's Mario. The series is known for jumping, so it's nice to see that implemented in Mario Kart. We also saw a rewind feature they can use offline, and it's cool that while you can rewind, everyone else in the race just goes forward. So it's not like you're at an advantage where you just rewind easily and everything rewinds. It's only you, so that's pretty cool. And then we kind of saw stuff. This was kind of teased a little bit in, I think, the treehouse with some screenshots of a mission mode type thing. Like we saw the peace switches, but we didn't really know what it meant. But now we do. It's like missions randomly throughout the world when you're in like free roam or whatever. And also we saw more of the free roam in itself, where you can go anywhere, like a Breath of the Wild type thing. So that's all cool, and that's kind of new. The only thing that's like new was really the charge shot and the rewind thing. I think those two are the only new things. Oh, actually, no, my bad. We did get confirmation of the Joy-Con 2 wheel. That was bundled in with the physical version of Mario Kart to justify the $80. But we got that was completely new information. And also we saw battle mode, which I actually got concerned when we saw it because the tracks look really big, which makes sense because there's 24 players, but I was thinking they look like race tracks, and I was like, is this Mario Kart 8 like on Wii U again, where the battle mode sucks, it's just race tracks? It's not the case because there's returning battle mode courses, and I just got kind of concerned. But only two modes, like there's the coin runners and then there's balloon battle. That's it. Why no Sign Thief? Why no Renegade Roundup? I just have less battle modes than in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Why not something completely new? Like, why only have two battle modes? Like, oh my god. But that is also another new thing we did not see before, so I'm sorry for spreading the misinformation, but really it was like not that much new stuff, all things considered, like truly new at least. The other ones are kind of like verbal confirmation of stuff we kind of saw already, but I still consider that new. But everything else in the Direct was basically everything we saw in the overview trailer or the treehouse. And that's kind of disappointing because this Direct really could have just been an overview trailer. And I see some people saying, like, defending Nintendo, saying like, oh, what did you expect from Mario Kart World, Other Directs have been around this same time. And yeah, that's true. Like, Mario Wonder was around 15 minutes, but that still had more information in it. And other big games like Splatoon 3, Xenoblade 3, Xenoblade 2, Smash Ultimate. A lot of big games for Nintendo had longer directs, 30, 20 minutes, 40 minutes for Smash Bros, and I was expecting at least 20 minutes for this Direct because Nintendo is really positioning Mario Kart World to be a big game for the Switch too. I mean, it's launching there day one. We've waited for a new Mario Kart for like 11 years now, and also, it's $80. A lot of people were expecting this to have like something hidden in this direct, especially because, again, executives, like Doug Bowser or Bill Trinen were like, oh, wait until the direct, we have a justification for the price, and we didn't see that at all, and it really bugs me, because again, this direct, like, people are defending it, and I don't think it was bad at all, but really, you gotta pay attention to the other directs Nintendo has done, and they shown off, even if they were shorter, like, again, the Mario Wonder Direct, which was like the same amount of time, they showed off some new information, more substantial than Mario Kart World, while this really didn't. It showed, like, technically completely new stuff, like two things, and the other ones that I mentioned were kind of new, were just like confirmation of things we already saw, like the outfits, how that worked, and yeah, it just really bugs me that people still defend Nintendo, and I don't blame people, because Nintendo is a great company in terms of games, but in terms of their consumer practices, they are really, I mean, they kind of always been like this, but it's really taking a toll with the Switch 2, with this generation coming up. I mean, everything is expensive. The console is fine, but I think it could have been a little bit cheaper. But the accessories, like the camera, that's expensive. The games are a whole nother level. Like, it just bugs me that people still defend Nintendo, and they're like, oh, $80, it's fine, because, I'm going to play like this game for like 100 hours, look at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I played that game for so long. $80 is nothing. And that's not how pricing with games should work. I understand the viewpoint, and I'm not like immune to it. I have also been like that before, where I'm like, oh, it's $60, but I only get like 10 hours of gameplay. I have been like that before, but I've come around to it far more recently, because if it's a fun time and it's 10 hours, I'm fine paying like a $60 price, but if it like just drags on forever and it's like $70, I feel like, I just like value those sort of experiences more, nowadays, and that's not to say that people don't have the right to justify pricing like that, but I don't think that should be the main thing, I think, pricing should be standardized, like it has been, but Nintendo is like trying to push the envelope for other games to be $80 or $90 or $100, and that's really worrying for the future. Again, I've said this before, we're going backwards in terms of pricing. Pricing was higher in the 90s, although, again, it worked differently. People talk about inflation, but wages were different. They haven't adjusted for it, and there were cheaper games back in the 90s as well. It wasn't a standardized thing, but then they became standardized, but now it looks like we're going back to being kind of not standardized and having like random prices thrown out like for different games, and that's really annoying. It should just be one standard price, no matter if it's like a short game or a long game, a higher price point shouldn't be like, oh, it's going to be a lot of hours, even though, again, I have been in that viewpoint before. That's not what people should be doing, and to see Nintendo fans justify Nintendo doing this is just especially because, again, they didn't really have anything new to show off in this direct. In fact, I saw lots of people kind of disappointed with some of the confirmations, and I don't blame them. Like, we saw, again, how the outfits work, but it looks like in the menu that the outfits for the characters are going to be separate characters in the menu thing, which is really dumb. It's like a Mario Kart Tour situation where, the costumes for Mario, they're all going to be separate characters. They're not all going to be just Mario, and you select an outfit, because we saw that with the menu thing where Mario and Luigi were like the first in the row, but then the costumes for Mario and Luigi were like in the middle, which implies, very much heavily implies that, those costumes are separate characters. Otherwise, who would be in front of Mario and Luigi? They're like the main guys. Like, oh my god. Like, why, Nintendo? Why do this? And I think there's like the rows show like maybe 150 characters, quote unquote, but it's gonna be like a lot of them just gonna be alternate costumes, and that's really annoying, you know? Oh my god, why Nintendo? And I wanted to see some new stuff or returning stuff like for this game. Like for example, I don't think we've seen if there's like underwater sections. Now I haven't seen the treehouse like gameplay or whatever, so maybe it's in there, but I haven't seen if there's like underwater sections if that's returning. Anti-gravity is like, I don't think it's returning, but it also kind of looks like it is because of the gameplay that was shown off. We can like go on the sides of the track, you know, kind of seems like anti-gravity, but I didn't see the effects, so I don't know what's going on there. I wish we saw that confirmation. Also, I am one of those people that like the non-Mario characters in Mario Kart. I don't think Mario Kart should become Smash Kart. I think they could do that as its own separate game. But I do like seeing the like Splatoon characters, Zelda characters in Mario Kart, and I wish we saw them in this game. Like, I appreciate having like a bunch of random enemies be playable. You know, that's pretty cool. Very, you know, out of left field, but I like that. But I do want to see some actual characters, or heck, you know, stick to Mario and give us actually like the RPG characters. You know, I want to see some real ones and not just random enemies. Even though the random enemies are cool, have more than those guys, you know. And also, I just really don't like the fact that there's back to like 32 tracks in this game. Now, to be fair, the tracks are longer. There's like transitions, which I don't even know how the transitions work. Like, was that shown off in the treehouse? I don't know. And I'll talk about another problem I have with this direct, but yeah, I don't know how about the treehouse if it showed off that, but I wish we saw it here, how the transitions work between the tracks for the people that didn't see the treehouse if it was there. And that's the other problem that, you know, I mentioned. Not everyone saw the treehouse, so I was kind of hoping that this direct would be longer to, one, talk a little bit about what was shown off in the treehouse for people that didn't watch it, such as myself, and also show off a bunch of new information. But even though I didn't really watch the treehouse, you know, I saw some things here and there, I still knew a lot about the information for the direct. So yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, that's another problem I have with this direct. You know, again, very unnecessary, even for people like me who didn't see the treehouse. But yeah, going back to my main point, I wish that there were more tracks, you know, and again, they're more detailed and whatever, but it just feels like a really darn shame that it's not at least like 48 tracks, you know. After Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you know, which had 48 tracks at launch. I know there were 32 tracks, you know, when Mario Kart 8 came out on Wii U, but, you know, most people's experience with Mario Kart 8 was the 48 tracks, and then now we have double that, 96, you know, that's a whole lot of tracks, and yeah, again, they're detailed, but it feels like a step backwards for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in particular. It just sucks to be back to 32 tracks, you know, and I'm sure they're gonna do DLC or something. Hopefully it's free, because if it's paid DLC for an $80 game, oof. But, you know, I'm hoping there's going to be DLC, like free stuff. Maybe they could do like a Splatoon thing where they update it with new stuff, you know, every quote-unquote season, which is like every couple of months. That'll be kind of neat. And they could also do the characters from Zelda, you know, Splatoon. I'm still holding out hope for like a Xenoblade character. That would be really cool. But yeah, I mean, that's all just speculation. You know, for the main game in itself, it looks like this is it, and that's kind of disappointing, you know. Not to say that this game looks bad or it looks awful, you know, anything like that. In fact, this direct made me realize that this game looks really good. Like, it looks great, you know, how everything gets involved in the environment, the effects, like, that's really cool. I really like how this game looks a lot, but it just feels like Mario Kart again. And, you know, Mario Kart is great, but I was hoping for something new. I was really hoping for something like an adventure mode, like Diddy Kong Racing, or Crash Team Racing. Have like a story mode. They kind of have it again with the mission mode thing, but like it's just like an expanded version of Mario Kart DS's stuff, in an open world setting. I was kind of hoping for more, like a next bigger leap for Mario Kart, but it doesn't look like that's the case. And I would think they would show that off in a direct, but they didn't. So yeah, it kind of sucks, to be honest. I really don't think this direct was necessary at all. This could have been an email. This could have been an overview trailer. Yeah, and I don't see why people are defending it. Again, I don't think the game looks bad. I'm definitely gonna get the game eventually. Of course, I need money first to get the Switch 2, but I'm gonna try to get it as soon as possible, along with Mario Kart, probably the bundle. So it's $30 cheaper. And that's also another thing. People are justifying, like, oh, just get the bundle, it's $30 cheaper. Yeah, it is, but it's still the precedent of $80 games that Nintendo is setting for the standard price. And also that bundle is limited until fall, and it might not even be around for the holidays, for Christmas, which is a big thing. So yeah, overall, this direct, very unnecessary, and it's not an opinion that's exclusive to me. Other people feel this way. But I wanted to make this video after the direct, even though I didn't see other people talk about it. And then when I did, I was like, do I even want to cover it now because other people are saying it? But I do, because I'm really passionate about it. I try to have like a unique spin on my videos to, show off something new, like a different viewpoint. But I share the same opinion with others, which I don't think is a bad thing, I really am disappointed in Nintendo, especially as of late with a lot of things. Their communication has been really awful lately. The pricing, people are also mad about, like, oh, why did you think they were like $90 games? And I did think they were like $90 games too, but Nintendo wasn't clear about it in the Switch 2 Direct. And now with this Direct, they weren't really clear on why it's $80 this game in the first place. Nintendo's communication is all out of whack. So my whole point being, I hope people vote with their wallets on this, so that Nintendo needs to change their practices as of late. I'm hoping that's gonna happen because people are saying drop the price, especially the like live chat thing. I kind of doubt it will work, but we can change Nintendo. We've done it before with the 3DS. We can do it, guys. Come on. But anyways, guys, I think that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, play some Xenoblade, and I'll catch you all next time for more. Peace. I really can't believe Nintendo, man.